Hello, friends, and welcome back to the shop. Today is Sunday, March 23rd. Yeah. And it's a beautiful morning here in southeastern Pennsylvania. Beautiful early spring morning. A little bit cooler than I'd like it to be, but the sun is shining and can't argue with that. I hesitated on the date for some reason. I think it's the 25th. I've been stuck on the 25th all morning. And I know it's not because I have something I have to do tomorrow. I know tomorrow's the 24th, but for some reason today wants to be the 25th. Go figure. Anyway, uh, here we are, and I've got some coffee, and of course, I got a pipe and a tobacco, which is the tobacco of the month for this month. So let's get right into that, get the pipe loaded up, and I can tell you a bit about the tobacco and also some interesting naval stuff, naval history. Not too much history, but an interesting character nonetheless. So the reason for the naval theme, it's not going to be that much of a naval theme, is the tobacco of the month is actually Baren Navy Flake. This was chosen by you, the Friday Night Live stream viewers. Haha. uh, so this is from 2013. I think that's right. Let me put my old man glasses on, make sure. No, I'm sorry, 2014. No, March of 2013. Okay, I got it in 2014, but the original date was March 2013. So how about that? That's pretty well aged. It's what, 10, 12 years. And this is from JP. Unfortunately, I do not remember who JP is. He sent it to me back in 2014. So thank you, JP. You know who you are. The tobacco itself, we opened it. We actually chose it, oh gosh, quite a few months ago. And when I opened the tin, it was like really bone dry. And I thought, well, I've got to rehydrate this. I can't just smoke it now. So we chose a second tobacco, and this got rehydrated. It came back in the running for 2 months and finally was chosen again this month. And much to my horror, because I've always had a history with McBaren. But let me show you that the flakes are, when you rehydrate flakes, they tend to fall apart. But these are still fairly well maintained. And right now, after rehydration, perfect smoking um, moisture level. I'm going to pack some of this in my Briar Spirit pipe, which I like to call Janus for reasons you may or may not get. And it's a wonderful pipe. I don't smoke it as much as I should. It's a little bit large, so it's not an easy clencher, but I clench it and it smokes wonderfully. Okay, so I'm going to use my usual method of just kind of balling up these flakes or bits of flake, and then after balling them tightly, just dropping them in and letting them do their thing down at the bottom of the bowl. That gives you a little bit of airspace down there, and it also, in general, gets them rubbed out enough. You know, and guys who like to, rub the flake out and let it dry and all that, that's great. I get the ritual in that, and I've done it a few times myself, and it's enjoyable. But just to get the pipe going, I don't think you want to watch me sit here for 10 minutes and let the flake air out. And then I'll usually try to get a little bit of stuff that's really well rubbed out right on the top to act as kindling, for lack of a better term. And there we have it. McBaren Navy Flake ready for the light. And we've got a variety of lighters here today. Been having trouble with this Zippo, and I'll explain that. Yep, not gonna light today. I haven't filled it this morning intentionally because I want to take apart the cotton and see how the wick is laying. It worked beautifully for me. And then St. David, my buddy David said he's never had a Zippo that worked. And I said, that's crazy. Zippos always work. And the next time I tried to light that thing, the darn thing wouldn't light. So I don't know what's going on with that. I think it might just be the way the wick is packed, but we will see. Instead, we've got a stand-in. This is a lighter. I was trying to remember the name of this on Friday night. Somebody was asking, I think it was Daniel Leslie actually, was asking about a soft flame lighter that is, you know, not terribly expensive. And this was given to me by my buddy Greg Tunnel. I know he gave them out to several folks a couple of years back at the Columbus show. You're not going to be able to read that likely, but this is an Honest lighter. Probably help if I had it right side up. Huh? There we go. I have no idea where this is made, who makes it, how much it costs, although I'm assuming it's not, super expensive, unless Greg is a much more generous fellow than I thought. Uh, Nice, it's got, tools on the side and all that, and it's got a really nice, reliable soft flame. So this has sort of become my spare lighter that I keep upstairs. I've got this one, I've got another one that my friend Bonapiper gave to me, and I kind of rotate between them, and they just work. It's not a Zippo, so it's not like my favorite thing, but I can fill this with butane in 2 months from now. If I haven't used it, it lights, and that's what I want. Something that's going to sit there and be reliable for when my Zippo is not working, which it's not working today. So, all right, so let's talk a bit about the tobacco, and this is not going to be a long impressions video because I don't have a lot of impressions to give you here. I've smoked a fair amount of this, not as much as I typically would, to be honest with you, because I don't find it to be terribly pleasant. It's not that it's not biting, although the first few bowls did threaten. Uh, my buddy Doug Owen likes to refer to McBaren as McBitey, and I know other folks do too. Uh, they have this topping, and of course these are all a thing of the past now that McBaren is going away, but or maybe gone. But they use this honey type topping that seems to bite about 95% of all the pipe smokers on the planet, and the other 5% say McBaren's the most wonderful thing in the world. I'm making up the percentages. Maybe it's 50-50. I don't know. I'm one of the guys that just finds it to be intolerable. It just smokes really, really hot. Now I've learned, and I've smoked other McBaren blends. It's not like this is the first one. Uh, and I usually, every couple years, I would buy a tin of something because it looked intriguing, and then I go, why did I buy this? Um, this one, I've learned the cadence that I need to smoke it without it causing tongue bites, so that's good. Uh, but the other problem for me is that honey topping. Let me see if I can tell you. Oh, I don't have the tin here. No, I'll pull this up on Tobacco Reviews just so I can tell you what's in it. I think it's just Virginia, but I just want to be absolutely certain. So give me just a moment. Sorry, I know this is compelling video, but it will be quick, I promise. Mac Baren, maybe Flake. Oh, okay, so it does have burley. Finest burley. What? Oh goodness, it's a burley. It's basically a burley based blend. I thought it was I thought it was Virginia based. Should have looked this up before I started the video. Finest burley with a taste of Virginia and McBaren's original Cavendish, enhanced with rum to create a blend with a rich, wonderful flavor. Yeah, I get zero rum from this. Um, it is still available on Smoking Pipes. Now, keep in mind everything I say about this is going to be biased towards the fact that it was rehydrated. So maybe this will not hold for a fresh tin, although the topping is as vibrant as I remember it in a fresh tin of any other McBaren blend. Um, it's sweet. It's very sweet, and I think that's why I wasn't picking up on the burley, because that honey flavor is just the only thing I taste. Now, if I really work at it, I can get some tobacco flavor. And I would have sworn it was Virginia. Now that I know there's burley in it, I'm looking for it. Yeah, to me, this is just a sweet topped Virginia blend. Uh, Once I figured out the cadence, there was not an issue with tongue bite. It's just the flavor isn't for me. It's very monochromatic. It doesn't change at all as I'm smoking through the bowl. So yeah, not a lot more to say about it. I mean, I can understand why people might enjoy it if they don't have the problem with tongue bite, but it's almost like smoking an aromatic, in my opinion. Uh, so not terrible, but certainly not something I would want to buy again, or this was given to me, so I didn't buy it the first time. But not something I would seek out. But if that kind of thing is up your alley, if you like sweet Virginia tasting burleys, uh, maybe you'd like it. And once I got the cadence figured out, it was very smooth. And it's remarkable to me that the topping has lasted through, I don't know when it dried out, but it's been, what, 12 years, did I say, in the tin? And then being pretty much dry to the point where if I tried to rub it out, it just crumbled to dust. Phone call. Yeah, dry to the point where it was just crumbling to dust. So rehydrated beautifully, and I would think that topping would have suffered. So maybe that means that whatever they were using was at least a natural flavoring, like real honey. I don't know. I never use this little tamper tool. I should. Quite convenient, and it's nice that it can get into the bottom of conical bowls. All right, we had a bit of an interruption there because my wife would not stop calling me. She had good reason. Everything's fine, but yeah, so I had to stop. I'm restarting. Isn't that nice? I'm continuing to smoke the Baren Navy Flake. And I don't remember where I left off. But the plan was to talk about Admiral Frank Jack Fletcher. And you saw his picture on the title card. I'll put a link below to a really nice article from Smoking Pipes on Frank Jack Fletcher. He was known as the pipe smoking admiral, which I think is really kind of cool. He was an admiral, World War I, World War II, highly decorated, won the first three aircraft carrier battles in history. He won all three of them. And those included Midway, Coral Reef, and I wrote it down. Midway, Coral Sea, sorry, and Eastern Solomons. And yeah, just a really interesting guy. Loved to smoke pipes. Apparently, was a corncob pipe smoker. This article said that there's only one picture of him where he's smoking a briar pipe, and I believe in that title card picture, it's a little grainy, so it's hard to tell, but I believe he is smoking a cob in that picture. If you look at the shank and the difference in color between the shank and the stem, it just looks very cob-like to me. He supposedly, although it's not confirmed, would order them a dozen at a time and have them delivered to his ship. Yeah, so interesting fellow, very important in naval history and certainly in that World War II era, but going all the way back, World War I, had a very illustrious career. Worth looking into if you're at all interested in that sort of history, and something fun to read while you're enjoying a bowl of McBaren Navy Flake, assuming you enjoy that sort of thing. I'm sorry, it's for what it is. It's a very nice tobacco, and I'm sure that it has its fans, and that there are people that are going to be very disappointed that this is no longer available. I'm just not one of those fans. But I will continue to smoke it. until we get to April, and we choose a new tobacco of the month on the Friday night live stream. That's always done the first Friday of the month. So whatever the first Friday of April is, we'll be choosing our new tobacco. So with that, friends, I have no idea how long this is because I got interrupted in the middle. And hopefully it's not too terribly long. Hopefully you enjoyed the chat. And you'll go look up Admiral Fletcher and learn a little bit about his career and the role he played in the war in the Pacific. It was interesting stuff. I'm going to get off to all my typical Sunday shenanigans, which mostly right now involves laundry, and dealing with the reason my wife called me. She's still in Pittsburgh, by the way. I don't know if she's coming back. She does this all the time. She heads out there, and I'll be back Saturday. 2 weeks later, I'm going to stay a couple more days. It's fine. She's taking care, not taking care of, but spending time with her mom and her sisters as well. One sister lives there. The other sister comes in and out. So she's having family time and talking to old childhood friends and stuff like that. So it's all good. And she'll come back. She always does. All right, folks, with that, I'm going to draw this to a close. I hope you have a fantastic Sunday and enjoy the week ahead. And until we speak again, I will look forward to talking to you all again very soon. Goodbye now.